They see the result, not the repetition. They see the outcome, not the repetition. They see the moment, not the mission. They see the crown, not the conditions. But nothing arrives without hours that nobody records. Nothing gets built without battles behind closed doors, where motivation disappears and only effort remains, where you learn to move forward through fatigue and pain. That's where the real work happens, away from attention and praise, where you decide who you become on the hardest days. No crowd, no noise, just the work you choose. Earned in silence, built in the dark. Earned in silence, carved in the heart. Earned in silence. No applause, no fame, just results that speak without saying a name. Every setback is private, every doubt feels real. Every moment you continue is a moment you heal. From weakness, from hesitation, from comfort's pull, from temptation to stop when it gets heavy, to quit when it gets low. But the strongest never ask if they should go. They already decided before the struggle began that quitting was never part of the plan. Stay low, stay sharp, build strength in the dark. Earned in silence, built in the dark. Earned in silence, carved in the heart. Earned in silence. No applause, no fame, just results that speak without saying a name. They'll ask you, how did you become this? And you won't have a speech, you'll just show what exists. Because greatness doesn't shout, it doesn't need to defend. It simply arrives at the very end. Was louder than pain. There's a moment when everything cracks, not loudly, not clean. Just a silent collapse inside of everything you believed. Plans don't survive it, confidence gets thin, and the version of you from yesterday doesn't exist within. That space feels empty, but it's not the end. It's the beginning of something you don't fully understand yet. Because pressure doesn't destroy you, it strips you down instead. Until only what is real is what's left. No comfort, no disguise, just truth in your eyes. After the breakpoint, something new begins. survives the choice. You stop negotiating with weakness, you stop feeding the doubt, you stop asking for permission to figure it out. Every failure becomes structure, every loss becomes proof that you're not here to stay the same. You're here to move through the wreckage of old thinking, through the weight of yesterday, because what breaks you open also clears the way. And slowly, without announcement, without applause or light, you become something different in the middle of the fight. No retreat, no fall, only rise through it all. After the breakpoint, something new begins. After the breakpoint, you rebuild from within. After the breakpoint, no fear, no noise, only the version of you that survives the choice. Strongest transformations don't feel like power at first. They feel like loss, like silence, like being dispersed. But what returns from that silence is sharper than before. A version that doesn't survive life. Inside the pain. I crossed the line this morning that I can't step back from. Left the old excuses under a rising sun. There was a version of me that always played it safe, always chose the easy road, always walked away. But that version stays behind now, silent in the dust, because forward is the only direction I can trust. No more negotiating with fear inside my head, no more asking permission for the life I'm building instead. Stepping, locking, no escape begin. No turning back, the line is crossed. No turning back, no matter the cost. No turning back, I'm moving ahead. The past is gone and what's ahead is what I get. The pressure doesn't break me, it sharpens what I am. Every setback is a signal to push harder than I planned. I don't need perfect timing, I don't need ideal days. I'm moving inside the chaos and build my own way. The road won't ever promise that it's easy or it's fair, but I stopped waiting for comfort somewhere back there. Now every step is louder, now every breath is real, now every second proves this is how I feel. No doubt, no fear, only motion here. No turning back, the line is crossed. No turning back, no matter the cost. No turning back, I'm moving ahead. The past is gone and what's ahead is what I get. comfort becomes a prison, and you break out of the cage. That moment came and found me, no warning, no sound, and I chose to move forward instead of backing down. No turning back, I'm fully in. No turning back, let the war begin. No turning back, this path is mine, and I won't return to the person I left behind. Most men stop when they are tired. Most men quit when it gets hard. Most men lower all their standards when the battle leaves its mark. But deep inside there lives a place beyond comfort, beyond fear. A place where discipline takes over and the mission becomes clear. I visited that place in silence, when my body begged me stop, when every muscle burned with fire. But I gave all that I got. One more breath, one more round. That's where greatness can be found. Beyond human limits, beyond what they expect, beyond every excuse that tries to disconnect. Beyond human limits, beyond the voice of fear, the warrior inside me becomes stronger every year. Everyone, the climb is steep and long. Most will choose the easy path and wonder where they went wrong. But I chose the harder burden, I chose the weight and pain, because every day I conquer them, I never stay the same. The mirror shows a different man than the one I used to be. A man built through relentless effort and absolute. Saw the early mornings, nobody heard the silent fight, nobody watched the endless battles hidden deep within the night. No spotlight reached the training ground, no crowd was standing near, only discipline beside me and a future crystal clear. While others search for recognition, I was building something real, a foundation made of struggle and a heart forged out of steel. No applause, no reward, just the mission, moving forward. I was built in the shadows, far away from the light. failure taught me more. Every obstacle became another step toward the person I fought for. The world only sees the outcome, the trophies and the praise, but greatness grows in silence across 1,000 unseen days. The strongest walls are built underground before they ever touch the sky. The strongest warriors learn to suffer without asking why. One more mile, one more rep, one more promise to protect. I was built in the shadows, far away from the light. I was built in the shadows, through the struggle and the fight. I was built in the shadows, where excuses disappear, and the warrior inside awakens. Year after year, now the gates are slowly opening. Now the moment draws near, and everything I've built in darkness will finally appear. Not by luck and not by chance, not by talent alone, but through years of relentless effort that nobody had known. I was built in the shadows, and now I stand prepared. I was built in the shadow by the burdens that I carried. I was built in the shadows, and the proof is standing here. A warrior shaped by discipline, who learned to master fear. I don't count the miles behind me, I count the battles still ahead. I don't measure life by comfort, but by the fears I've left for dead. Every morning is a checkpoint, every workout is a war, every challenge is an invitation to become something more. I wasn't shaped by easy seasons, I wasn't built by peaceful days. I was forged beneath resistance, inside relentless flames. Forward still, forward now, the mission lives inside this vow. This is the march of the relentless, the path that few survive. This is the march of the relentless, where warriors come alive. This is the march of the relentless, no surrender, no retreat, because the road to greatness starts where comfort meets defeat. The weight grows heavy on my shoulders, the climb becomes more steep, but discipline has taught me lessons that weakness cannot keep. I've learned that pain is temporary, but regret can last forever. So I choose the harder road again and again. Whenever the world rewards consistency, not promises or pride, and myself by what I do inside. One more round, one more scar, one more lesson from the war. This is the march of the relentless, the path that few survive. This is the march of the relentless, where warriors come alive. This is the march of the relentless. No surrender, no retreat, because the road to greatness starts where comfort meets defeat. I can hear the future calling from the other side of pain. A stronger man is waiting there, beyond the wind and rain, beyond the doubt, beyond the limits, beyond the fear of loss, waiting for the version of myself willing to pay the cost. This is the march of the relentless, and I will lead the way. This is the march of the relentless, no matter what they say. This is the march of the relentless, and when my journey ends, they'll know I kept advancing forward again and again and again. I wasn't given a crown to wear, I wasn't handed a throne. Everything that I have become was built when I stood alone. The road was cold, the nights were long, the weight was hard to bear, but every challenge taught me something that comfort never shared. The scars became my resume, the struggle became my proof. Every sacrifice I made strengthened my roots. No easy path, no easy way, just discipline, day after day. Blood, sweat and purpose, that's the price I pay. Blood, sweat and purpose, every single day. Blood, sweat and purpose, the code I live within, because the war is never won by those who never begin. Becomes a battle cry, the sunrise becomes a test. Every morning ask the question, will you give your very best? The weak negotiate with weakness, the strong demand much more. The weak search for motivation, the strong walk through the door. I don't need perfect conditions, I don't need perfect skies. I need the will to keep advancing no matter what may rise. One more rep, one more mile, one more battle, one more trial. Blood, sweat and purpose, that's the price I pay. Blood, sweat and purpose, every single day. Blood, sweat and purpose, the code I live within, because the war is never won by those who never begin. From now they'll see the outcome, they'll see the strength I've earned, but they won't see the countless moments when quitting almost returned. And that's where warriors are separated, that's where champions are born. In the decision to keep moving when the body feels worn. Blood, sweat and purpose, the fire inside my soul. Blood, sweat and purpose, the real reason I control my fear, my doubt, my weakness, my hesitation too. Because the greatest battle ever fought is the one inside of you. It's built beneath the weight of pressure. It's built beneath the strain. It's built when nobody is watching, and you choose growth over pain. The battlefield doesn't need excuses. The battlefield doesn't care. It only asks a single question: did you prepare? No magic words, no easy road, only the will to bear the load. Become the weapon, become the force, become the fire that stays its course. Become the weapon, sharp and true. The battle changes when the weapon is you. Every workout shapes the armor. Every setback sharpens steel. Every challenge faced with courage makes the transformation real. The weak wait for opportunity. The strong create their own. The weak seek comfort in the crowd. The strong stand alone. I wasn't made for hesitation. I wasn't made to run. I was built through repetition until the work was done. One more rep, one more mile, one more battle, one more trial. Become the weapon, become the force, become the fire that stays its course. Become the weapon, sharp and true. The battle changes when the weapon is you. When the pressure reaches maximum and weaker spirits bend, the training starts to speak for you again and again. Because confidence isn't spoken, it's earned through every scar, through every morning won in silence, and every climb so far. Become the weapon, become the blade, become the warrior that discipline has made. Become the weapon and let the world begin to witness what is possible. When the warrior within wins.
Everybody talks about winning. Everybody loves the idea. Everybody wants the reward when the finish line is near.
But are you hungry when it's lonely?
Are you hungry when it's slow?
Are you hungry when the results
are the only thing that never show?
Because desire sounds impressive until the work begins, and ambition means nothing without the discipline within. The world is full of dreamers with plans they never start. The difference isn't talent, the difference is the heart.
How bad, how much without being enough.
Hungry enough
To carry the weight,
hungry enough
to dominate your fate. The road gets very quiet when the excitement disappears, when nobody is watching and nobody's there to cheer. That's where hunger shows its face. That's where commitment lives. Not in moments full of energy, but in what a person gives. When the body says slow down, when the mind says take a break, when comfort starts negotiating and pressure starts to take. Will you keep your word? Will you stay the course? Will you keep advancing with relentless force? One more day, one more fight, one more step into the night.
Are you hungry enough
To keep going alone,
hungry enough
to build without being known,
hungry enough
to carry the weight,
hungry enough
to dominate your fate. Because the dream is expensive and greatness has a fee. The question isn't whether you want it desperately. The question is much deeper. The question that remains, are you willing to become the person that it takes?
Are you hungry enough
To refuse defeat,
hungry enough
to rise when others retreat,
hungry enough
to answer the call, because hunger decides who gets it all.
Somewhere in the future there's a version of myself I've never known. Stronger than the one who's standing here, wiser than the one who's grown. He doesn't waste his opportunities, he doesn't run from what is hard. He understands that every setback can become another card.
I think about him every morning when the alarm cuts through the dark, and I wonder if today's decisions will move me closer to his mark.
Because becoming isn't magic, it isn't luck or destiny. It's built from daily choices repeated endlessly.
Who I'll be starts today, not tomorrow, not someday.
The man I haven't met yet,
Is waiting down the road,
built from every challenge, built from every load.
the man I haven't met yet depends on what I do.
Every action writes a chapter,
Every choice becomes the truth.
It's easy to admire greatness, it's easy to respect success. What's difficult is understanding the years behind the progress.
The lonely hours of improvement, the habits nobody sees, the constant self-correction, the relentless attention to detail.
Every day becomes a vote for the person I create. Every action strengthens weakness or strengthens something great. That's why I guard my standards, that's why I protect my time. Where the future isn't found, it's built one day at a time.
One decision,
One more page,
one more step,
one more step. The man
every choice becomes the truth.
One day we'll finally meet face to face inside the glass, and he'll be nothing like the person who was afraid to take a chance.
He'll be built from discipline, from sacrifice and growth, a living reminder that effort creates
I pay.
The man I haven't met yet is someone worth becoming, and that's enough reason to keep moving forward.
One day this chapter will be over. One day these years will disappear. One day the clock will stop its counting, and everything becomes clear. The risks you took, the road you traveled, the battles that you chose to fight, the moments when you kept advancing long after losing sight.
I don't wanna reach that moment and wonder what I could have been. I don't want a life of almost, or dreams that never left my skin.
I'd rather fail while chasing something than spend my years standing still, because regret is far heavier than effort ever will.
No holding back, no second guess. Give everything, demand your best.
Leave nothing behind,
leave nothing undone.
When this journey is over,
know what you've become.
Leave nothing behind,
give all you can give,
because the greatest mistake
is forgetting to live. Most people slowly lower standards to match the lives they choose. They trade ambition for comfort and slowly start to lose.
Not money, not status, not things that can be bought, but the version of themselves that existed in their thoughts. The version that was fearless, the version full of fire, the version that believed they could climb even higher. That's why I guard that vision, that's why I protect that dream, because nothing great was ever built by playing small and unseen.
One more chance, one more climb,
one more step ahead of time. Leave nothing behind,
leave nothing undone.
When this journey is over,
know what you'll become.
Leave nothing behind,
give all you can give,
because the greatest mistake
is forgetting to live.
For excuses, the years don't pause the pace, and eventually we're all confronted by the truth we cannot escape.
Did you attack your potential? Did you answer when life called? Or did you build a smaller version of the person who could have stood tall?
Leave nothing behind.
Let that be your code.
Leave nothing behind.
On this uncertain road.
Leave nothing behind.
And when the story ends,
You'll know you gave everything.
again and again, and again, and again. Nobody talks about the cost of staying where you are. The opportunities abandoned, the distance from the stars. Everybody sees the sacrifice required to reach the top, but few can see the hidden price of choosing when to stop. Every year you hesitate, the gap becomes more real between the life you're living now and the life you could reveal. Because potential has an expiration, dreams can fade away if they're not fed by action. Day after day, time keeps moving, time won't wait. Build your future before it's late.
The cost of staying average
Is higher than the climb.
The cost of staying average
Is losing precious time.
The cost of staying average
Is watching dreams decay, knowing deep inside you could have gone all the way.
I have seen people surrender, not in one dramatic fall, but through thousands of small choices that slowly changed it all.
A little less commitment, a little less belief, a little more acceptance of a life beneath their reach. That's why I protect my standards, that's why I guard my aim. Because greatness doesn't vanish, it slowly leaves the game. And once the fire disappears, the battle becomes hard to win. That's why I fight complacency before it settles in. One more risk, one more try, one more reason not to comply.
The cost of staying average
Is higher than the climb.
The cost of staying average
Is losing precious time.
The cost of staying average
Is watching dreams decay, knowing deep inside you could have gone all the way. Comfort rarely looks dangerous, that's what makes it strong. It doesn't attack all at once, it pulls you slowly along. Until one day you wake up and barely recognize the person who abandoned the fire in their eyes. refuse a small life, a life spent standing still, watching years disappear without testing my will. I refuse to reach old age, filled with questions and regret, wondering what I could have been if I had placed a bigger bet. There are people born with talent, there are people born with luck, but history remembers those who kept going when it got tough. I don't need an easy pathway, I don't need a guarantee. I'd rather fail while chasing greatness than spend my life wondering what if was me. Too much fire, too much drive to spend these years just staying alive. I refuse a small life, I refuse to play it safe, I refuse to waste my potential and let ambition fade. I refuse a small life, that's why I pay the cost, because average is expensive when you calculate what's lost. The clock keeps moving forward whether I act or not. The future keeps approaching whether I rise or stop. That's why every day matters, that's why every choice is real, because destiny is built from the actions we repeat. I don't want borrowed stories, I don't want second-hand dreams. I want a life that proves I became more than I seem. So when the opportunity arrives, I won't be caught unprepared, because while others were distracted, I was already there. No permission, no delay, build the future starting today. I refuse a small life, I refuse to play it safe, I refuse to waste my potential and let ambition fade. I refuse a small life, that's why I pay the cost, because average is expensive when you calculate what's lost. One day the mirror will ask me what I did with my time, and I want an answer worthy of the life that was mine. Not excuses, not regrets, not dreams that never left my head, but proof that I attacked the challenge every chance I had instead. I refuse a small life, and that's the path I choose, because the greatest tragedy of all is becoming what you didn't use.
Before the banners start flying, before the war horns fill the air, before the world sees who survives, the work is done right here, in the cold and silent mornings, where nobody knows my name, where discipline becomes a weapon, and purpose fuels the flame. The battlefield is not tomorrow, the battlefield is now. Every choice I make today becomes a sacred vow. The enemy's weakness, the mission is clear. The warrior is forged long before he's here. Before the battle begins, I sharpen heart and mind. Before the battle begins, I leave excuses behind. Before the battle begins, I embrace the weight and pain, because victory is earned in the hours spent training. The iron tests my spirit, the miles test my soul. Every challenge asks a question, how far will you go? And every time I answer with another step ahead, a weaker version fades away, a stronger one is bred. No crown is won in comfort, no legends built with ease. The strongest warriors are created by refusing to appease. One more rep, one more fight, one more dawn, one more night. Before the battle begins, I sharpen heart and mind. Before the battle begins, I leave excuses behind. Before the battle begins, I embrace the weight and pain, because victory is earned in the hours spent training. The storm finally arrives and the pressure fills the sky. I won't search for strength that day, because strength was built nearby. In every lonely morning, in every sacrifice made, in every moment I chose discipline instead of seeking shame. Before the battle begins, the warrior is already born. Before the battle begins, the armor has been worn. Before the battle begins, the mission lives within, because those who conquer training first are the ones who truly win. Everything collapsed. Every door I tried to open turned me back. Every dream was left in pieces, scattered by the wind and rain. But the ruins taught me lessons comfort never gave. When you've lost what you depended on, you discover what you're made of. Not the things you hold outside, but what's inside. From ruins, from the wreckage and the pain, every piece that fell apart was built again. I was built from ruins, stronger than I've ever been. The fire didn't end my story, I've stood among the ashes and survived it all. Every setback made me wiser, every battle left me strong. Every night I thought was endless made me carry on. I was built from ruins, A voice that asks a simple question: will you run or will you fight? Some ignore it, some avoid it, some pretend they never heard, but deep inside they know the answer, hidden underneath the words. Mine a ride before the sunrise, in the silence of the dawn, telling me that comfort's kingdom was no place where I belonged. The call was clear, the path was hard, but warriors moved toward the skies. Answer the call, rise and advance. Answer the call, don't leave it to chance. Answer the call, stand and become the man you promised you would be. When the day was done, inside the workout, inside every extra mile, inside the moments where persistence must survive another trial. It's heard when nobody's watching, when quitting feels justified, when every excuse sounds reasonable, but discipline decides. The battle isn't somewhere distant. The battle is within. The battle lives within. The battle is within. And every day I answer it is another day I win. One more step, one more fight, one more mission, one more night. Answer the call, rise and advance. Answer the call, don't leave it to chance. Answer the call, stand and become the man you promised you would be. When the day was done, 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 done. Years from now I'll look behind me, and I will clearly see the moments that define my life were the ones that challenged me. Not the days that felt easy, not the days that felt easy, not the roads without resistance, not the roads without resistance, but the choices made through hardship and relentless persistence. Answer the call, the time is now. Answer the call and make the vow. Answer the call, let weakness fall, because the strongest warriors are the ones who answer the call. In silence, beyond the gates of fear, every scar I've ever carried has prepared me to be here. The crowd may never know the story of the battles that I've won, long before this day had come. I wasn't made by easy victories. I wasn't shaped by praise. I was built inside the struggle, through relentless grinding days. The gates are opening, the moment has arrived. The years of preparation are finally alive. I was born for the arena, born to face the fight, born to stand unshaken when others lose their sight. I was born for the arena, where pressure fills the air, because every day I trained alone prepared me to be there. The weight became my teacher, the road became my friend. The pain became the language that helped my spirit ascend. Every failure taught a lesson, every setback forged my will. Every mountain that I conquered prepared me for this hill. Now there's no room left for doubt, no reason left to hide. The warrior that I needed has already grown inside. One more breath, one more stand, one more chance to take command. I was born for the arena, born to face the fight, born to stand unshaken when others lose their sight. I was born for the arena, where pressure fills the air, because every day I trained alone prepared me to be there. Let the challenge come before me, let the pressure test my name. I have spent too many years preparing to be afraid of pain. The battle is not punishment, the battle is the proof that all those years of sacrifice were building living truth. I was born for the arena, and the arena lives in me. Not a place of stone and sand, but who I choose to be. I was born for the arena, and when the final call begins, I walk forward without hesitation, like every champion that wins.